Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do. It's going to be a new one in my regret series. Today I'm going to be chatting about makeup that I don't regret not buying. I will have my regret series playlist linked down below. I try to do these maybe once a month or so whenever I have enough products to chat about. I talk about makeup that I don't regret not buying, makeup that I regret not buying, makeup that I regret buying. I mean, I just have a whole bunch of videos, so I will definitely link my playlist down below. But today's video is going to be all about makeup that I thought about purchasing, I talked myself out of, and I do not regret that. This is a bit of a follow-up to my Will I Buy It series that I post every single week. I'll also link my playlist down below because I try to, you know, that's where I'm talking about new makeup releases. So I try to come back in these regret videos and categorize them of which ones I don't regret not getting, which ones maybe I regret not buying or I regret buying, and so on and so forth. So a little follow-up to those videos. But if you would like to see the products that I don't regret not buying, well, let me go ahead and get started. First up, let's talk about the most expensive product that somehow managed to catch my attention, and I don't know what I was thinking. This one is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Glowgasm face palette. So it was a highlighting palette with 4 different highlighters in there. The packaging was absolutely gorgeous on it. The highlights inside looked beautiful. The swatches looked beautiful of it, and I have to admit that I did a bit of a double take when it came out. I do like a lot of Charlotte Tilbury products. There's definitely hits and misses with the brand, but there's a lot of products that I really enjoy from her, and when I saw the highlights I was like, ooh, that's pretty. And then I saw the price, that it was $75 for this highlighting palette, and I was like, girlfriend, you that's a no. You can't do that. And I have so many highlighters, and I have so many highlighters that I love, and I just did a highlight collab with Ofra. It was like, how are you going to spend $75 on a highlight? Like, I know that it was just one palette and you got 4 shades inside, and they were all really beautiful, and they were like, they looked different in the palette too. You know, it wasn't like you're just buying a highlight palette with like very similar shades inside and be like, okay, why not just buy one highlight? It looked beautiful, but I just was like, you can't do this. And I have gone on to see some reviews, and there's a lot of people that really like it. You know, there's people that really like it, that really recommend it, that it looks really quite beautiful on their skin. But I haven't seen anyone like, oh wow guys, if you didn't get this highlight palette, you really missed out, because that might have made me feel a little bit sad. I still don't think I would have purchased it at the $75. I'm just saying that I would have been sad that I wouldn't let myself do that. But again, like, I've seen good reviews for it, but nothing that's been like, oh shoot, really wish I would have talked myself into that palette, you know what I mean? So that is one that I definitely don't have any regrets adding to my highlight collection. Don't feel like I need it, don't feel like I need to spend that price. But dang, Charlotte comes out, like, her packaging, man, she really kills the game there, not gonna lie. Next up, I have a product on here from Huda Beauty. This was her setting spray. I forgot to write down the actual name of the spray, so forgive me for that. I just wrote down Huda spray, and this was $32. I love setting sprays. I just recently did a video of the Would You Rather makeup tag that was started by Kelly Gooch, and one of the questions in there was, would you rather give up primer or setting spray? And I said I would give up primer. I just love setting sprays. I think they can make such a big difference with your makeup, not only to make it last longer, but to help, you know, if you put a bunch of powders on your face, help it look a little bit more natural. I appreciate that so much. I love setting sprays, and when new setting sprays come out, I always tend to give them a second glance. You know, I'm like, ooh, do I need that? Should I have that one in my collection? I don't know. So a lot of times when Huda Beauty comes out with new products, I do get excited about them. I don't buy absolutely everything, but again, typically a brand that makes me kind of do a double take and think, you know, do I need this, kind of walk myself through the process of it. So when she released this spray, I was like, oh, kind of curious about this. But this is one that I'm really glad that I decided to watch the reviews on, because I haven't seen a ton of great reviews. There are a handful of people that really do quite rave about this one, but I feel like majority wise, and you know, not everybody's gonna love something, not everyone's going to dislike something, but I feel like majority wise, a lot of people do not like this one. And especially I've heard a lot of people with dry skin, which I have, say to stay away from this one. I know alcohol is really high up there on the list of ingredients, which can be not a great skincare ingredient, especially for dry skin. It can really dry out your skin even more. So I know a lot of people said that. I've heard that it's so super fragranced that people are saying even when they put it on, they can still smell it for like hours later after applying it. They can still smell the smell of the spray because it's so intense. People don't like the feel of it. I haven't seen a lot of great reviews on this one, and again, it was $32. That is pretty pricey for a setting spray. I think MAC Fix Plus is maybe like $21 or something like that. I do quite like the Morphe spray. That one's a little bit more affordable, or Urban Decay. I used this one today. I did actually film this makeup look. This was Friday's video, trying out some new makeup, including the Urban Decay All Nighter Summer Solstice spray. They have great sprays that I don't think are in the $30 range either. I think they're in the 20s. So I'm glad that I saved my money on that one and listened to the reviews. You know, I love to buy, you know, new products or test out new makeup. It's a lot of fun to do. It's fun to be able to get my reviews out there quickly, or at least trying new products quickly. But I also don't, you know, I want to be a conscious consumer at the same time. I don't want to just buy to buy. So when there's products that I'm like a little bit on the fence about, if I can wait for the reviews, you know, that really does help save me money in the long run, which I want to do that. I want to save money as well. So glad I saved some money on that one. Next up, I put on here the Juvia's Place foundation. So this one was $20. I was really curious about this foundation. I'm curious about Juvia's Place as a brand. I'm excited that they're carried at Ulta Beauty. I think that's really fun. So when they were coming out with the foundation, I was pretty interested right off the bat because I really like testing out complexion products, foundations, concealers. That's a lot of fun for me. So when they were coming out with this one, I was like, ooh, a shiny new foundation. Like, I'm excited about this. $20, not a bad price range. You know, Juvia's Place is usually a little bit more on the affordable side, like not the most affordable brand, but also not really high end. So I was excited about that. It did say that it was going to be a matte finish, so that was what kind of pulled me back. And when I mentioned this in a Will I Buy It video, I was like, you know, I'm curious about this one. I might pick it up, but because it's more of the matte, I believe also full coverage, it's like I feel like I should just watch a few reviews and see, you know, what other people are saying, maybe with, especially with dry skin first. And once again, it seemed like a lot of people, especially with dry skin, were not loving this foundation. A lot of the reviews just mentioned how dry, and I've heard multiple people say in their reviews their skin feels very tight after they apply this. No matter what primer they're using or sprays or whatnot, their skin just feels dry and tight when they apply the foundation. And I'm like, oh no, 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 no. I do not want that feeling at all. Like, I like a foundation. Like, I don't like full coverage. I'm more medium coverage, and I'm more of a natural finish girl. But I do not like heavy feeling foundation. Cakey foundation, just heavy on the skin. Not a fan of that. So when I was hearing people say that in their reviews, I was like, ooh, girl, you should probably stay away from that foundation. So I know I've had a couple people ask me, you know, did I end up purchasing the Juvia's Place? Am I still going to review it? And I've decided that I do not want, even though it's only $20, it's not the most expensive foundation, I still don't think it would be a great purchase for me. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and skip over the Juvia's Place. So not mad that I ended up passing over that one. The next product that I wrote down is, or the last two actually, are both eyeshadow palettes. So this first one is from Natasha Denona. This is the Sunrise palette. So this retailed for $65, and I was curious about this one. I really liked that Natasha came out with this size of palette. So when she came out with the Sunrise palette, I was excited because she has her really large palettes, which are over $100. She has she has like the mini palettes, which are $25. Then she has a size like a little bit bigger than the minis that are in the $40 range. So she has like a plethora of different sizes of eyeshadow palettes, and then she came out with this size, which is a little bit smaller than the bigger palettes, and retails for $65. I kind of like that because it's like you can kind of pick and choose what suits your needs and all of that. So I like that she does that. I think that it's cool and fun. I do wish that the formula would stay consistent throughout though, and not even just with like the bigger palettes to the smaller palettes, but even I've tried 3 different mini palettes. Was it the Sunset, the Lila, and my favorite eyeshadow palette that I'm blanking on, the Mini Nude palette. Hello, Samantha. And I returned the Lila. I thought the Sunset was fine, and I love the Mini Nude. Like, it's just like so weird like that, you know? So I wish there was some consistency with that. But when she came out with the Sunrise, you know, I gave it the double take. I looked at it, I was like, oh man, like, I kind of like the size. It's still big, but it's not like too big, and it's not over $100, so that helps. And the colors inside looked really beautiful. I mean, definitely, I love the color scheme in that palette. I love Sunrise Sunset Eyes. I think it's beautiful. There was a lot of colors in there that really sparked my interest, but I was like, do you really need this palette right now. I have other ones that are similar in my collection. Like, do you really need this? Do you need to go out and spend the $65? I've also been saying that I have eyeshadow palette fatigue right now. Eyeshadows are just not really like calling to me at this moment. Palettes aren't really inspiring me to purchase them. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and skip over it. And I've seen so many people that have purchased it, and you know, they've created such beautiful looks that I've seen, and there's been amazing tutorials out there, but there hasn't been one, like I love the looks that I've seen, don't get me wrong, but there hasn't been one look that I'm like, I can only get that look from that eyeshadow palette. You know what I'm saying? There's other ones in my collection, there's other shades that I can reach for that I can go ahead and recreate these looks. So I feel like maybe if there was like 1 or 2 or, you know, obviously like 3 looks that I started seeing that I was like, oh, I don't think I can achieve that unless I have the Sunrise palette, I might have changed my mind and decided to purchase it. But again, I haven't seen anything that made this one so super unique to me that I decided to go ahead and purchase it. I also said in the Will I Buy It video that I felt like it was a little bit more on the like the fall side, just with those types of shades. I mean, really beautiful, again, you know, great looking palette and all of that, but I was like, I don't know, I feel like maybe if that would have came out in the fall, I would have been a little bit more tempted to purchase it. But in the summer, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling those vibes right now, so decided to skip over that, and I do not regret it. And then the last one that I have up on my list are the Huda Beauty neon palettes. So sorry, Huda Beauty, that I have 2 items on this list, but like I said, her releases really do call my attention. I really do take a second glance at them, you know, try to decide if I need them, or a lot of times I don't need things, but like, do I really want them in my collection? Do I want to add them to my makeup collection? And so when she came out with the neon palettes, I really enjoy her Obsessions palettes. I've purchased a lot of them myself, like I don't know, 7 maybe or something like that. I really like them. I'm a big fan of the 9 pen palettes. They're $27. They have a mirror. They have, you know, a nice color story in there. I've traveled with them a lot. I've recommended them a lot. So when she came out the neon ones, I was definitely interested. I did notice though that these are $29, and I was like, why? Like, that was kind of weird to me. I don't know if maybe it's just because the packaging is different with these, or is it because they're neon and that's like a trend right now, so you're gonna charge $2 more? I'm not really sure what's going on there. Maybe there was a difference with like the amount of product you get. I don't know. I honestly didn't look too close at it. I'm not even gonna lie to you, but I just noticed that they were 29 versus the 27, and I was like, okay. But you know, obviously the neon trend is very big right now. You know, just even a few months ago, there was so many neon, you know, focused products coming out, from eyeshadow palettes to eyeliners and all of that. So many people had neon nails and so forth. But I kind of looked at them closely because, again, I like the Obsessions palettes, I like the formula, I like the 9 pans, I like the price on it, and I kind of looked at them and I was like, you know, I don't know if I see anything that's like super different or unique about these palettes. I think the packaging was like the bam aspect of these. That neon packaging was very cool. There wasn't a ton neon about the palette, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for me because I'm not super into neon makeup, but they were still, you know, fairly colorful and all of that. And once I looked at them a little bit closer and I tried to remove the cool packaging, which can sometimes just, you know, bring you in, packaging attracts you and all of that, I was like, you know, I don't really see anything like super special about these. And really, I haven't heard a ton of reviews on these in general. I don't know if people just also weren't excited to purchase them or what was going on there, but I haven't seen a lot of reviews on them in general. And the ones that I have seen, I feel like people have just been kind of like so-so about them. It seems like with the original Obsessions palettes, like the one I have, the warm brown Obsessions, the smoky Obsessions, the mauve Obsessions, those palettes seem to get really good reviews. And then she came out with the gemstones, which I also purchased. I purchased the purple one, the green one, and I didn't love those as much as I did the original Obsessions. I was kind of a little bit underwhelmed by the formula in there, and I didn't think it was the same. And I think that's kind of the general consensus that I personally have seen with who I watch on YouTube. That's kind of the consensus that I feel like I've seen with these palettes too, that they're just not as good as the original Obsessions. And I'm like, why change it? Like, why change the formula? Man, if so many people love that one, why change it? But again, the reviews did not pull me in. The reviews did not sway me to change my mind on that one. So even though I did give these the double take, I ended up deciding not to purchase them, and I do not regret that decision. But after that, that is going to wrap it up for today's video, talking about some new makeup that I don't regret not buying. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you've been enjoying the regret series. I always get excited when I have enough products to put together a regret video with. Again, I will have my playlist linked down below if you want to catch more of these. Other than that though, I'd love to get your thoughts in the comments down below, of course, what you thought, or what is something that you maybe thought about purchasing, maybe gave a double take to, and you talked yourself out of it and you are happy with that decision. I would love to know. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy today's video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.